Hi everyone, my name is Ruben, but my friends call me Ruby. So last year for Halloween, me and my wife didn't really know what we wanted to go as, so we decided to make something more fun. She had gotten these like white masks for the Halloween before that, but ended up not doing anything with them, so we just decided to do our own masks ourselves. It was a really fun day for the both of us. Like, I really enjoyed the process of making the masks. Sorry, truck is going by. Garbage truck. Garbage truck, get out of my shot. You're not in the shot, but I can hear you from here. Why won't this garbage truck move? Wait, it's going. Thank you, garbage truck, for allowing me to record this video. Yeah. Alright. But in the end, I wasn't super happy with mine. I was kind of winging it, didn't really know what it was gonna be. I was kind of trying to let myself go, and just not think too much about it. But, I'm super critical of myself and I just kept overthinking it. So I kind of wanted to go back and redeem myself and do something better, something that I could plan a little bit at least, so I didn't feel that remorse of not having done any work beforehand. And with that, the both of us had so much fun that we just decided to do like a monthly crafts date. Each month one of us will pick something, and I was the first one to pick, so I just wanted to go back to masks again. Both of us don't drink anymore and we really don't go out as much, so this type of date is way more fun for us than to go to like bars at night. We kind of like to spend our nights at home. So this is like a really cool monthly date that we set up, something to look forward to, that we would do together, to like forget about work, forget about how the world is today. And just be together and do something fun. So this is what we did in our first craft date. But let's catch up for a minute. Winter has been miserable in New York. It's probably the worst winter since I moved here. It has just been long. The snow will not go away. Everything is dirty. New York is disgusting. Like, New York is disgusting, but no one's picking up trash. People don't pick up their dogs' poop because there's snow on the floor for some reason. I really don't understand that. Yeah, so it's just a lot. Also, it's kind of dangerous to walk around because there's snow everywhere. It's frozen, so it's really dangerous. And I haven't been able to ride my bike or even a city bike because all the city bikes are basically stuck in the frozen snow. Even when you get one, it's really hard to find parking. I don't really mind the cold. I lived in Berlin for a long time, but I'm also not too keen to be outside doing stuff. I kind of like to be home. I just have a hard time being outside for too long. I just want to go home immediately. And yeah, it's also been kind of hard to commit to doing creative work. I've been writing a little bit. I've been trying to draw outside of like these challenges. It's been kind of hard to just sit down and draw something. I feel like the weather is kind of getting to me a little bit, and it's kind of hard to force myself to do creative stuff. Doing a crafts date ended up being super fun, and I was kind of anxious a little bit before we did it because I've just in my head too much and I didn't want it to not be fun, or feel like a chore, like something I had to do. But I kept going back to the Halloween masks we did, and even though the result was not the best, it was so much fun that I just kept focusing on that. I still kind of didn't prepare a lot. I winged it maybe a little bit more than I should. And I really like masks, so I kind of wanted to do something new and different, I kind of wanted to use different materials. So for this specific craft date, my wife saw this video on YouTube of this lady who kind of used like paper paste instead of paper mache. So I really wanted to try that out because I was really interested in something that maybe I could sculpt a little bit better, like kind of like ceramics but on a mask. So I got one of those white masks because I really wanted this mask to be wearable. And my wife kind of decided to do the shape of the mask from scratch because she wanted to do it a little bit smaller. But she did a really great job making a smaller mask. She had so much fun with it that she ended up doing 2 masks. And my wife, she's like a real pro. She sketched ideas, different types of masks that she wanted to do. And I kind of winged it on that, more because I had an idea in my brain. At the same time, I was being critical of myself and my drawings. So I just decided to not overthink it and just do what I had in my brain, and hopefully it will come out as something that I would like. And that was the part that disappointed me the most in the Halloween mask, because I really had no idea where I was going with it. I think winging things is not as easy, it's for people who know how to do it, or for people who have a lot of training. They are kind of better at visualizing what they're gonna do, and I don't think I have that, at least now. So basically we used a lot of aluminum foil Yeah, we used a lot of aluminum foil to make like bigger shapes. I wanted to do horns and I wanted to do big teeth, and I also wanted to do the brow a little bit more exaggerated. Just put a lot of aluminum foil around the mask and then just use a lot of like painter's tape over it just so it would hold it. So we had to use this like blue painter's tape that we got when we painted our bedroom. But that blue tape just sucks. Don't get it. It sucked for painting and it sucked for this as well. I ended up using lots of it because I didn't have any other tape. Once we had everything in place, my wife started doing the mix of the paper dust, I don't know, to make the paper paste. It's kind of tricky because we didn't really know the measurements. So the first batch was kind of like clumpy and I had never used it before. But it was pretty easy to just put on the mask, you know, it kind of grabbed on real easily. It just kind of stuck to itself, I guess. Bro, no brakes today. Now the radiator. And it also had kind of a weird smell. It kind of smelled like bread, but not good bread. I don't even think it was spoiled bread, but just like bread you don't want to eat. And yeah, by the time I kind of put everything on it, it kind of looked a little bit bumpy, more than I thought it would, you know. I was kind of hoping that it would be more like clay, you know, smoother. But I kind of knew that would happen, so I just had to wait for it to dry so we could sand it. So if this is the first video that you're watching from me, just know that at the end of the video, I normally do some recommendations of stuff that I've been into. So make sure you stick around till the end so you can check that out. And if you want to, you know, feel free to like and subscribe this video. If you want to watch more of these videos, you know, that will help you to get them quicker and will help me to know that people are actually watching these. And now my neighbor is vacuuming. All the noises that had to happen are happening today. Listen. So back to the masks. Speaking of sanding, that sucked. I don't know if I didn't have the right sanding paper, maybe it was too thin. I bought a bunch of them, but I wasn't sure which ones were the more adequate for this type of material. So that really took a long time. I used it a lot, my hand was hurting, and you know, it didn't look that much better. That was not being fun at all. So I kind of gave up on that and just, you know, committed to this like bumpy look. So after the sanding, I just kind of had to like shake it a bit so all the dust would come out, and then I just painted it white because it wasn't really white. But yeah, I just painted it because I thought the other colors would grab on much better and look much better on like a white surface. While that was drying, I took a picture of it and I just threw it on Photoshop because this time I didn't want to wing this part. This was the part that I kind of disliked the most in the previous mask. I still think the mask looks pretty alright. You know, you guys can tell me if it doesn't, but you know, I forgot about it. I forgot about the past. I live in the present. Even in Photoshop, I gotta admit, I was a bit uninspired already. I looked at a lot of masks on Pinterest. I have lots of them because I really love masks, but I just couldn't find anything that was inspiring me. So I ended up looking at some like illustrations of tigers. I don't know where I found the tigers, but I just started looking at a lot of tigers. That was kind of what inspired the paint job. I didn't do it that well on Photoshop, but I kind of had an idea of what I was going for. So at least I had that, and then I wanted to experiment a little bit. And I also think that due to my lack of training in like creative stuff, you know, art, that I kind of have a hard time visualizing the end creative, you know, how it's gonna look in the end. Yeah, I think I have a really hard time doing that because I just need to do it more, I guess, to gain that. And so that's one of the things that kind of freaks me out the most, is that I start panicking when I'm not sure what's it gonna look like. And yeah, at this point, you know, in the past, I would probably have given up. I'd probably just leave it as is, threw it in a drawer somewhere, and would never touch it again. But that's not what I want to do, and that does not make a nice YouTube video for you guys to watch. So, you know, I decided that this is what I wanted to do, and I had to push through. So I took it step by step, main colors first. Wasn't too obsessed with the details. I just wanted to do one thing at a time, and I was kind of enjoying the process. Normally, I will start getting anxious about the end result. I will start rushing and trying to get to the finish line so I can get rid of this feeling. But I was just trying to sit with it, you know, and at the same time ignore it and just doing it slowly, just being intentional about what I was doing. And at some points I was kind of not happy with it, but the good thing with paint is that you can paint over it, you know, just keep adding paint until you want to, or until the mask gets super heavy. The parts I wasn't happy with, I just thought about why I wasn't happy with them, and I just painted over it and ended up getting the result that I kind of visualized in my head. So here it is. I think it turned out pretty cool, a little creepy, That's at least that's what my wife told me, and I also find it creepy. But I kind of like it, you know. I think it's like aggressive and scary. And here are the two masks that my wife did. They are really, really cool. Like, I just love them. But yeah, she's amazing. She's the best. What can I say? So what did I learn from this? I learned that even if I think I'm not going to be fully happy with something, pushing through really works. It does. When you want to give up, abandon a project, sit for a minute with yourself. No matter how hard it feels, just really try to push through. Even if it ends up not being what you imagined or you just don't like it, at least you finished it. I think that's the main takeaway from this, is like to finish it. And you know, in your mind, just knowing that you finished that one thing, no matter what the result is, you know, it just leaves the door open to start something new. And the upside is that you can always take everything that you just learned to the next thing, you know. Experience will just improve your craft and the things you do. And even if I didn't love my mask to death, it felt really great to just look at it and be like, I did it, it's over, I'm done. I don't think I've ever finished many creative projects in my life. I left a lot of stuff unfinished. So I was really happy to have this feeling of, you know, completion. And that really helped me shed all the pressure away and just enjoy what I did, and also start thinking about the next creative date. Welcome to Ruby Rex. So after playing Silent Hill 2, I kind of wanted to keep the Silent Hill train going, so I got Silent Hill F, which is one of their new, and it did not disappoint. The horror was amazing. It was set in Japan and it was so scary, so different from Silent Hill, but at the same time, it did have that eeriness of Silent Hill. I just loved it. Like, the story is really, really good, and I'm kind of anxious to play it again because there's different endings. Kind of want to see all of those. Speaking of Silent Hill, I went to the movies to see Return to Silent Hill. I've heard it was bad, but oh boy, I was not expecting it to be this bad. It was terrible. First off, I kind of fell asleep in like the first half an hour because it was really boring. So I just fell asleep in the theater for like 5 minutes or something, I'm not sure. But thankfully I woke up and kept watching. And yeah, maybe not thankfully, because it was just so bad. It was based on Silent Hill 2 and the story is so good. Why would anyone do it so different? I don't know why this film exists, honestly. It just exists to enrage everyone, probably. I would say skip this one. I also saw this movie called Out of Darkness, which is set in like the caveman era of humanity. It was surprisingly great. I really liked it. It was scary. It had like its own language. I thought it was really cool. And yeah, in the end it just shows that no matter the era, humanity is garbage. I also saw this movie called Surat, which is wild. Honestly, I don't even want to say too much. It's like this guy looking for his daughter at a rave in Morocco. What happens next? I don't even know what to tell you. I'm saying watch this movie. If you can watch it in the theater, do it. If you're watching it at home, hopefully you have a good sound system, because it's just... I mean, I thought it was an incredible movie. One of the best movies I've ever seen. I also saw If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. It was kind of hard to watch. I don't have kids and I don't want to have kids. So it kind of pained me to see Rose Byrne suffer so much in this movie. I know this is just a movie, but it kind of gave me a lot of anxiety just watching it. But amazing performance by Rose Byrne. And then I also rewatched Control, which is a movie about Ian Curtis from Joy Division. I was really obsessed with this movie when it came out. I really love Joy Division. So, you know, I just think it's a great movie. It looks great. The acting is amazing. Everyone looks super cool. If you never watched it, please watch it. My wife gave me this book for Christmas, I believe. And yeah, I love Mike Mignola. Like, he's one of my favorite illustrators of all time, you know, comic book artist, storyteller, just amazing. I love the Hellboy series. I have all of it. And I just love what he does. And yeah, this is like short stories by him, and it did not disappoint. If you're a Mike Mignola fan, you should get this. It's really good, and I'm hoping he will do more than one. I've also been trying to get back into reading, you know, more like novels. I kind of started to read this book, God, the Emperor of Doom. It was really freaky, but, you know, I was kind of into it. But at the same time, I had read all the Dune books up until this point, from one to the other, that I was kind of fatigued. So I kind of stopped. But now I'm hoping to get back. Hopefully I will finish it soon, because I have all the other Dune books to read as well. So you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post most of the work that you see here in this channel. And if you like my movie recommendations, you can also follow me on letterboxd. I've been reviewing every movie I see since like November of last year, so all the stuff I recommend here will also be there. Thank you for stopping by. See you soon.